What to do, folks? In today's video, I'll be teaching you how to build your own editing style for gaming videos. If you want a lot of views and have people type these comments on your video, get ready for some gems. As I was a full and recorded this only as audio file, I have to re-record it again. But if you don't know who I am, my name is Kelly Strike, and as you can see, I built a community and currently got over 10,000 plus subscribers. But let's get straight into the first point, and that is inspiration. This could be from any type of media, whether it's content creators, shows, anime, music, whatever it may be. I'm gonna tell you right now, I get a lot of praise for my editing, especially at the size I'm at. And one thing I really think about when people ask me about my editing and how I get down to it, the inspiration really did start from a bunch of animes. Definitely would say Dragon Ball is a main part of it, as I use a lot of keywords and stuff in my videos. But over time, it started to be something else, and I really started to enjoy watching a lot of sprite animations, which funnily enough ended up being some Dragon Ball ones, but also these Sonic ones as well. I just started to generally study the way they animated them, you know, the movements, the effects, the way they line certain attacks up and all that stuff, which eventually started becoming something that I implemented into my own content in my own type of ways. It's not exactly the same thing, but it's heavy inspiration from it. And especially when it comes to content creators, it doesn't just have to be someone within your niche. Obviously, I'm mainly speaking about the gaming one because we're just talking about building your gaming style for editing. But even when looking at things outside of my niche, like other type of YouTubers, whether it's some fitness shit, some philosophy, I might see some edits which I genuinely appreciate. I'm like, hey, I could probably add it into my own sort of thing. Already that, like taking something from a different niche and then mixing it with something that's already quite, I guess, unique or dynamic, will create your own sort of path in your editing style. In the start, you're probably gonna rely heavily on inspiration, but over time, you're gonna create your own path and create something unique that people will generally love you for. But inspiration isn't the only way to discover what you truly like to make, which is why I would say go with the flow. As you edit, you will find things you like to make and vice versa. When I started out 2-3 years ago, I just made whatever I wanted to make. I didn't really think about the video ideas. I didn't really think about all these other things that I guess as aspiring YouTubers should think about. I just made what I truly enjoyed. And over time, and that's when I started to make edits that started to stray away from the sort of typical Pokemon YouTubers. Since I upload a lot of Pokemon videos, that's sort of my thing. Slowly but surely, I started to make something different. And that's just something that came naturally, you know. One of my favorite videos is quite literally the Pokemon game where you're trapped in a nightmare, the Desolation one right here. That's one of my most passionate made videos ever. And truly, like, speaking about flow state and stuff, if I wasn't in flow state, I wouldn't even be close to have made what I made in that video. Like, I pushed myself so far and discovered so many new things about my style, which set me apart even more. I mean, I got like the whole dev team to see it, like they even dropped a whole bunch of comments, and a lot of people on that video were honestly amazed by what they saw. And that's because when you enter a flow state, shit just starts clicking. Like, I'm trying to think of a funny analogy, but you know when in Demon Slayer, if you watch Demon Slayer, like how they see the string of the demon when they're about to slay it, that's like I started seeing strings. I'm like, okay, let me add this, let me add that. Like, I wasn't like thinking of specific edits. Sometimes I do have specific edits in mind, which, you know, I end up making, but when I'm going with the flow, it's so hard to grasp, but it just feels right. It just feels right to add this song, add that edit, make this funny clip, whatever it may be. But that's always something that you will discover over time as you keep on editing. But getting into flow state will definitely help you a lot. And honestly, like a quick tip as well, which I forgot to say in the first recording, which I fucked up, but I would recommend just closing shit off. Like, I'm talking about your phone, social media, so you can really just focus on your video. A lot of people nowadays, especially in 2026, our attention spans are cooked. I mean, mine is probably a bit cooked, but definitely not as cooked as yours though. I'm gonna keep it a buck, bro. My attention span is not that bad, but I know a lot of y'all have cooked shit. But I'm here to help you. Turning shit off like social media will definitely help. I'm talking about don't disturb, maybe even airplane mode, bro. Discord on your PC, turn that shit off. You want to be locked in, okay? But you don't just want to be adding anything in, but actually stuff that worked. I'm talking about your typical retention hacks for specific edits to keep viewers hooked. Now I have to pull this up again. Like, I'm still so salty I have to re-record this video, but it's okay. This is my Apollo video. My face is kind of blocking it, but that one you can see to the top left had a really good retention here in the beginning of the intro. I had 94% of viewers still watching around the 30-second mark, which is good. And the truth is, I didn't even make it like anything flashy, bro. I kept it very bare bone, but followed just the principle of storytelling and such. And like I said before, my failed recording, I should probably start referencing that shit now. I also think it's important that depending on what your script is, it can definitely enhance your editing. Like if I had like a poor script or something like that, the edits might have not been as good. But obviously this video is mainly about finding your style. But most of y'all are probably like self-dependent YouTubers as well. Like you're here editing your own videos, not really editing for anybody else. And if you are, that's cool too. You can still apply this logic, but just keep in mind when you make these videos what your script is and stuff, because it can matter, definitely. But I also remember an example that I talked about before was, I remember when I was watching like an Ish video. Pretty sure this guy, yeah, he's like a big Minecraft YouTuber. He hosts these like big events and make these like long, like crazy Minecraft videos. But the way he was using like music and stuff, and how he was like speaking louder as the music was getting louder, is like a very good way to like hype the viewer up for the video, especially if it's a long ass video. You really want to sell the idea and make sure that you get your point across while just like mixing in with like emotion. You really want to excite someone. You're like, shit, like it's gonna be a good video. Like it could be anything. Most people always watch some shit while they eat, so you just want to make sure like you sell the video in a good way, which is why having these retention hacks and just edits that are proven to keep viewers hooked is also important. Like I still have this in my videos, as is mainly shown in the intros. Like one thing I also like too, which I don't want to forget to mention, is subtitles in my intro. I took this inspiration from Ludwig actually, and I've stuck to it since, but I'm gonna way more consistent with it now actually, since at the start I didn't really care that much, but once I started to make these really long form videos, these sort of like one game, one video type of things, I made sure to use it every single time, because you just maximize viewers' retention. That's all that matters. And of course the rest of the video should matter too, but I also have edits to keep them hooked. It's just your typical shit, like don't have the same footage for too long, maybe add like a clip here, a funny meme, whatever it may be. Like it kind of touches on like the second point, like go with the flow. Like you will sort of understand what I mean as you put in the reps. And speaking about putting in the reps, consistency will always be key. Ideas will flow. I really have to hone over each video. It took me a long ass while to get me to where I am today. I did not edit the same I did like back in 2022 when I first started to edit seriously, when I first started to take YouTube seriously. Ever since that day, I edited every single day. And that's honestly why I think my progression and growth as not just a YouTuber, but as an editor, was exponential. I put in a lot of work to these videos, and I make sure, I'm getting folk on my bed, I'll have to call that shit later. But like I said, exponential growth. And I don't think I would have gotten here if I didn't take this seriously. I imagine you watching this, you do want to take this seriously. Like you don't just want to like be some like lousy ass YouTuber. You actually want to make videos you fuck with. I'm not saying you gotta be like the biggest or aim for the biggest, but you actually want to make a good ass videos and something you're proud of and to look back on. Like there are videos I make where I literally just have to send it to people who don't even fuck with Pokemon. I'm like, bro, you have to see this edit. Like I'm so proud of this. Like this was so sick. The way I use the music here, the sound effects, whatever it may be. But don't get it twisted though. You want to have the right consistency, because everybody be talking about consistency, but you don't want to be consistent with the wrong thing, okay? When I say that, I mean making some dumbass edits or leaving stuff in the video that doesn't really need to be there, like, dead moments, or maybe you have something that's really jarring. And here's the good thing, like if you actually be posting and have sort of a fan base, they will let you know like, hey, this was kind of and that's when you start, look back and sort of hone it even further. Like, okay, maybe I should turn this down, remove this, maybe keep this more fluent. It will come with time. Just be consistent and make sure you do the right choices. Now, don't overthink it and think to yourself like, shit, what even is the right thing to do then? Like, is this bad? Is this good? At the end of the day, experience is the best teacher. I went through a lot of trial and error to get where I'm at, and I'm only improving. I may have a full-time job right now and not have so much time to edit, but I still put in that work every single day. There's always something new you will learn by just pushing yourself. And you're gonna have these videos where you really push yourself to the max, and that's when you learn the most. And I'll talk about the distillation video a bit earlier in this video. That was that is the hardest video I've ever made in my life. Ever in my life. Like the amount of like effort I went through, it's like genuinely like unspeakable. I'm talking about editing for like 13 hours. Not a day, but there were some days where that happened. And it wasn't out of like some like, oh, I'm dreading this shit, like I want to fucking end it. Bro, I was in flow state. I was in flow state. This is what I'm talking about. Go with the flow. I was in complete flow state. I started seeing these fucking lines, like, you know, how in Demon Slayer, like I said, with the Demon Slayer shit, I started seeing this. I was like, let me add this, let me add that. Like, I wasn't even like, oh, bro, I was not giving a fuck about anything. I look at the clock and be like, oh shit, it's 5 p.m. And I'm a guy that wakes up early. Like, I wake up around like 4 or 5, and I was like, you know, barely moving from this chair. Like, I was really glued to this shit, and I was having such a blast. Like, remember to have fun, bro. You really gotta make videos you enjoy, but obviously, you know, keep in mind of stuff that will help you in the space like fucking YouTube, that have these, you know, principles that will elevate your videos, but also create your own style. Because at the end of the day, do you really want to be like everybody else? Because if you really want to be like everybody else, why are you watching this video? You know, you can just make the same edits, the same way you storytell without any type of personality. This is the type of shit that will give you personality and will set you apart. And at least they have viewers, random ass people that's never seen it before, adore your shit. In fact, let me even show you a comment right now, because I didn't do this last time. On this Apollo video. Right here, bro. I think it's the top one too. Good top one. This one right here. Okay. I know it's a bit small, but I'm reading it out loud. I never really subscribe to YouTubers and never really comment. But, and I'll take this as offense, I haven't watched this video. So off the bat, he hasn't even watched the video. And I was like, okay, like, what's up? Like, what's he trying to say? And then he said, I listened to it as background noise while I flipped burgers at work. And oh my god, just listening to it was an experience. The sound effects, music, and your commentary and voices made it such an experience on their own. I will be rewatching this because I'm sure the visuals and editing are just as magnificent as what I've heard. Keep up the work, man. So off the rip, okay? Because we know editing is all visual and shit, but off the rip, this guy listened to the video and was already sold. And like I said, I would not have gotten to this point if I did not put in the consistency, go with the flow, take the inspiration, obviously add stuff that works to keep viewers hooked. Like, I would not have gotten to this point if I didn't make the right consistent choices. Stay consistent, take the inspiration from whatever you want. I don't care what type of videos you make, actually. If you're watching this and you don't even make gaming videos, make sure you still stick to your inspirations. I literally have random B-roll from fucking like Dragon Ball Z, where they be fighting, punching people's face like all bloody and shit. And I make it work anyway. Like, I'm literally like in a Pokemon battle. And I'm just like, of course, I'm transitioning into that clip in a fluent way where it doesn't seem jarring, but it fits. And at first you might be like, well, how the fuck is Dragon Ball and Pokemon even gonna mix? At the end of the day, people still be saying shit like, oh, I love the Dragon Ball edits you make, bro. Like, oh, I love this, I love that. Like, people, like, it's not that deep, you know? At the end of the day, create something unique you love and that you want other people to see, praise you for, and quite obviously, make some bang fucking videos. Make the right consistent actions, take your inspiration, go with the flow. Like, really take that shit seriously though, because that's when I honestly learned a lot of stuff which I wouldn't really have realized by just like analyzing shit and never putting in the work. I know a lot of people talk about Mr. Beast and stuff and his way of making videos, but take inspiration from creators you like and look at what they did for their high viewed videos, you know? Anyway, make sure you have a good ass day.